Welcome to Unhinged Magi!
Road edition. Here we go.
We are back in the car, and we're back with another very interesting topic, continuing something we actually just spoke about previously on this last video, I should think right now.
Previously on Unhinged Magi.
Yeah, previously. In our best announcer type voices. Okay, so in the last video, we were talking about, is it worth it to actually try to convert your bulk cards into smaller numbers of more valuable, more likely to go up cards, or is it better to just keep the bulk? It's not worth the effort. We talked about, like, is it more worth it? This one is assuming that you've decided yes. And how exactly are you going to do it?
How are we going to get rid of all this bulk, man? I can't sell this $1 at a time.
Yeah. How many of you guys have gone through the heartache of looking up the price of your individual cards and being like, oh, this is 20 cents and this is 50 cents and this is $1. And then you go to someone and say, I have all these cards, they add up to $500. And then the guy's like, dude, I'm not going to give you 30 bucks for those.
Yeah, it's crap.
That's very disheartening, but it happens. The only way you're going to get like 30 cents out of a 30-cent card is like if you trade it to someone else for another 30-cent card. Yeah. That works. And it's 30 cents because if you go to the store and you try to buy that card from an LGS, they're going to charge you 30 cents for the card.
Yep.
But you can't.
No, you can't sell it for 30 cents. It's terrible.
So what's one good way, Dan, to get rid of a bunch of bulk?
Well, I've done it a little bit. I've done the TCG Player app and done the buy list there. I've also done buy list through Channel Fireball as well. I've also listed bulk. Don't do that. It's terrible. It takes too long. eBay, it takes 12.5%. Don't do it. Just don't. I mean, you can put a stamp on it, and it might get there, and it might not. But for me, it's too much of a pain in the butt. So for me, getting rid of bulk for money, I think TCG Player app so far has been the best option.
Yeah, that's definitely a solid option. I haven't actually done that one yet, so I can't really speak to that. But I know that there's an awful lot of people that actually have done that method, and they seem to get, some happy feelings from it. And I think Channel Fireball also has deals going right now where you can package up bulk and give it to them.
You can actually send them a box, and then they will go through it. It's really actually a good thing. And they will actually, anything I think it's like 10 cents or higher, they'll give you actually their trade value as far as store credit or whatever. But if it's lower than that, then I think it's a penny per 1,000 cards, something like that. So I'll put the actual data on the screen, or Edwin, either way. But yeah, that's
whoever edits.
So yeah, I've done that through Channel Fireball as well, and they do a good job. They go through the cards and they tell you how much they'll pay, and you can either accept it or they'll ship it back to you. No big deal.
Yep. Now, another way that we should actually mention is if you actually sell your cards as a big giant bulk deal, and you sell them to another player, then that's always a decent option. If a store would have given you, say, $100 for several big boxes of bulk cards, then maybe another player would have actually given you $300 for that same box. Because remember, the store has so much overhead, right? They've got to pay someone to sort it. They've got to put it on a shelf, and there's always a price for shelf space.
Oh, yeah. And
they have to have their capital tied up. And they have to pay for their electricity bill, they have to pay for their insurance and for all their employees and stuff. So a store they've got a lot more vested inside that, and they therefore have to make a higher profit margin. So it seems easy math to me that if a store was going to give you $100 for a huge pile of boxes, if you can find another player, maybe they'd give you $400 for that same pile of boxes. Because that's, if they were to buy it from the store, they probably would have had to pay $500-$600, maybe $800 for those same boxes of bulk stuff, right?
Yeah, I totally agree. However, don't just go up to a store and say, "Hey, look through my stuff, tell me the price, and then walk away." To me, that just you waste their time and that kind of stuff. That just sounds terrible, because then they have to pay their employee to go through your stuff, and then they give you a ballpark price of what they're going to pay and the nonsense.
And they're going to undershoot it. They're not going to overshoot.
It's better just to use their buy list and then go and look up the data, because they have the data available. And then you can actually write down how much they're going to pay for it. And then you can put the box together and say, hey, look, Channel Fireball will take this off your hands for X. I want to sell it for a little bit more than that. Then you can buy it for Y. So if you do the work on your own, knock yourself out. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you actually use some of the store's time to like approximate the value of that collection that you're selling to the store, then, I mean, let me just honestly say that you might want to consider giving a tip or something to the store if you don't sell it to them, because you just wasted a lot of their time. So, I mean, I would feel bad if I went in and had an employee at a store look over all my bulk and quote me a price, and I didn't sell it to him. I literally might drop like a 20 spot on the guy just to like thank him for his time going through all that, because there is a lot of time on that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thousands and thousands of cards, that's insane. If you're just talking about one card, I wouldn't worry about it. But if you're talking about thousands of cards, that's different.
Yeah, that's a whole different story. But like he was saying, like if you're the one that actually does the effort, then like don't carry that burden, right? Just
because they have the buy list listed, so it's perfect. You can actually do that. That's actually a good thing. You know what we should do in some of our membership stuff?
What's that?
Maybe we actually go through the buy list, put a pile together, cards together, and say, okay, we're going to sell this to you at buy list. Do you want it?
Huh? That's interesting.
It is, right?
That's worth discussion for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we could actually say, hey, do you want to buy this for buy list price?
So you could basically be Star City Games, like the player. Like if there's somebody watching our channel, like they're literally going to buy cards at buy list prices for Star City Games.
Yeah.
So they get to be Star City Games.
And then I sell them that block of cards.
Okay, that's kind of exciting. I can definitely see people liking that idea.
Yeah.
Good.
If I was going to buy list it anyways, I mean, it seems 1-to-1, right?
Yeah, very good thing for a subscriber. That would be a reason to sign up to someone's $5 subscription service for sure.
Yeah, we have to think that through. Or maybe we mark it up by 1 cent or something.
Yeah, some kind of, because I mean, that's pretty cheap.
But yeah,
it's pennies on the dollar.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting, though. Maybe we can come up with
the internet's like, no, Dan, do it like that.
Yeah. No. I think we should do something similar. Like I look up all the buy lists on Channel Fireball and ABU Games, and then put it out there. All right, this is the buy list, and you get to buy it at buy list price.
I think you'd have no problem selling it like that.
I mean, we could do those as packages too. I mean, I think that would be a good thing for the channel too. So I think that spices it up.
So, okay, we have a whole other way that we can actually, we're suggesting that you guys consider getting rid of bulk product. And this was, I guess, going to be the last topic on this video. Okay. I actually suggested this once in some old videos on my channel, Edwin the Magic Engineer, but it's a good idea, and I've done it a couple times. The idea, we called it the blob.
The blob.
The blob. Okay, now here's what you do with the blob. You get together with a group of people. It can be any number that you really want. The times I've done it was like 4 to 6 people. I've done this twice. And what you do is you find somebody that has a large pile of bulk cards that they want to get rid of. And I'm saying like boxes, like 5,000 count boxes. Maybe there's 5 of them or something like that. There's a lot of it in there. And if you look at it and you think like, there's an awful lot of commons and uncommons and maybe some bulk rares that I don't personally own in this, but there's a lot that I don't need also. Then what you get together with like those several people, and one of you takes the plunge first, works out the market price, and you buy that bulk. You buy the blob. And then what you do is you take the blob home and you just sort through, just like, don't spend a ton of time on it, because like this isn't, you don't have to have perfect selection. Just quickly thumb through the blob, cards that you think you need, take those out of the blob, and start making a pile of those cards, right? And then what you do is all your cards that are extra, your extra duplicates, like your blob, you add it to the other blob. That's why you call it the blob, because the blob walks around eating people and adding to its size all the time, right?
And gets bigger and bigger with more blob cards.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, we're actually referencing like a really old movie called The Blob. But that's what this is. And so
we're also referencing one that's not so new, because it was made in the 90s, I think.
What, did they redo The Blob?
Yeah, I think they redid The Blob, didn't they?
Look at me not even knowing. Okay, I believe you.
How much do you know about the blob? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, apparently not that much about the new blob. I know old blob. The old blob was interesting.
Black and white blob. We're at the end of the screen. It covers the entire world.
Here you go. So for the Magic the Gathering blob, you take out the cards you want, just do it quickly, and then take the cards that you have extra and add them in, but do it separate. Now your person number 1. Now you go to the person number 2 on that list and tell them the price you bought it for, show them the cards you took out, show them the cards you put in, and then just work out a market price. And then when the two of you agree on a price, you sell the blob to that guy. Now the advantage here is that when you do things in this way, you look at your stack, and like I had this enormous stack of cards after I got rid of the blob, but I'm telling you guys, it was like pennies on the dollar that I spent getting these cards because they all came in this massive bulk. And so I would easily say I bought maybe like 5,000 cards or something. No, not 5,000, maybe 2,000 cards. And I probably paid 10% market value on these cards when I was done with it, and I passed it on. And then the next guy got a great deal. And then, so that's good. You got cards at a great price. I got rid of all this bulk that I didn't want to be carrying around, right? And then when I passed it all off, I got to just have that kind of like that nice kind of clarity of thought, and then go in and start organizing up all the cards that I'd pulled out of it. So it was fantastic. And then the next guy did the same thing because he got cards cheap and then he passed it on. So
I didn't do any of that.
Yeah. So yeah, you and I haven't done the blob yet together.
We should do the blob.
We should do the blob.
Yeah, we should start a blob.
We could definitely start a blob because right now I've got like a big chunk of bulk cards that I need to get rid of. So you and I could definitely put together a blob.
Okay, cool.
So, you know, maybe like you could be number 1, I could be number 2, or the other way around. I could be 1, you could be 2. Either way, we could start a blob and then pass it on, and like, I don't know, so maybe we can see if anyone else is interested in it. But This is a good way to increase the size of your collection very cheaply and to get rid of bulk cards, is the blob.
The blob.
Yep, so there we go. That's the idea. Last video was, is it worth it to try to narrow down your collection into good cards? And this video was about how to do it. So, thanks for attending, guys.
Thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe, make a comment, ring that bell.
Okay, we're buying food now. You guys, go away.
Go away.
Okay, bye.